This is Bollinger, which many of you will know because of James Bond, but this is where it is originally made. As you can see the photos on the wall, these are the original and previous owners. We then had a look around the shop, which is all the merchandise you can buy. Then we're taken over to the hectares, and this is the original plot. They also make honey and have their own beehives at the bottom of this field. We had a look at some of the grapes a little bit closer up, which were left over from the harvest, and they were very, very sweet. They now leave them for the birds to eat. If you don't know what harvest means, it basically means the people who come and pick the grapes. We then walk down the road to see their cellars, and this is where they keep the barrels and their vats. They use recycled wood for their barrels and old barrels as well to get that oakiness in their champagne. On each barrel you can see the year it was made, so this one is 1997. They do this because they don't have it any older than 25 years. Here are some of the vats they have in the other bigger room, and where they store all the barrels. Kind of like a cork, when you cork a bottle, they use the stoppers for their barrels, and you can either use a wooden one or a rubber one. As you see here, I'm holding one to give you an example of what they actually look like close up. And this is it in the barrel. And these are the machines where they actually clean the barrels to make sure they're all hygienic and clean and ready for the champagne to enter. This is how they actually get the barrels around, so they use this train track method to roll them across. This is the barrel workshop where they mend all the barrels and repair them for the champagne to be stored in them. They had in their workshop some of the old campaigns and vintage James Bond posters, as you can see here. We then have a look inside of a barrel and what it looks like after the champagne is removed. They actually use this stuff for beauty products as like scrubs, and for example, Cowderly actually use it in their products. Here you see they use a wire stem which they hang in the barrels to disinfect, and they use a sulphur and burn it inside the barrel before putting the champagne inside. We now go into their cellars, which are enormous, going maybe 14 kilometers underground. They had so much vintage stock. As you can see, they store the champagne on its side because they want the sediment to get to the bottom so they can freeze it and remove it before corking it. They had a little museum there with some of the old vintages, and they keep it locked up behind a huge metal door dating back to 1800s. We then came upstairs for our tasting, and they gave us about 5 different bottles of champagne to try, which were of course absolutely delicious. And they kind of gave us a little goodie bag with some of their honey, which they make on site. And this is all the bottles that we drank.